Good afternoon, YouTube. Tom coming at ya. We are going to be building some some hardware store hydroponics. This is the system I built. I saw some other systems online and I adapted what I saw into this. Everything that's here available from Amazon and or your local hardware store. That's why we're calling it Hardware Store Hydroponics. We use pool noodles, and I'll show you something else neat about those connections where we're putting the plants. So these larger plants up here at the top have been there for about a week, and then I have some smaller ones that I've done other videos on. The one on the top left over here, this one here, and then there's another one down here. Those I showed those in my video, frequently asked questions on mason jar hydroponics. So without further ado, let's go and get some parts together and start building. No, this isn't the little black book, it's a medium black book. So most of my projects start with a drawing of some sort. This one's no different. So I saw online, I was on YouTube, I'll put a link to the videos that I watched that I got inspiration from. This is the top manifold, if you will, of what we are going to build. This is a top looking down view, so you can see that the center one is straight on and then the two outer pipes are twisted out. And then some other details, but 5-gallon bucket, 3 1.5-inch PVC poles with connectors in it. That is what we are going to put together. Alright, I am going to give you the bad news right up front. The bad news is you're gonna have to have a couple of tools to build this system. You don't need anything expensive. I'm not saying you just buy a $400 saw or anything. The pipe needs cut. This is just a standard issue hacksaw. It's been here on the farm for, I have absolutely no idea how long, but it's been around for a while. So a hacksaw or some other way to cut PVC pipe, because you're going to have to make quite a few cuts by the time you're all done here. Down in the description I put a link to a ratcheting. You squeeze the handle. I don't own one, I have never used one, but I've seen other people use it and they rave over it. They say it's the best thing. There is a smaller one that's a little less expensive, but it won't fit the pipe we're using. The pipe we're using is 1.5. And then we do have a couple of other cuts that we need to make on some bigger, some 2 and some 4-inch pipe. The other thing you're going to need is a drill. This little Bosch drill, Nina bought me for Christmas 2 years ago. I really like it. Lithium ion, it's very light, it weighs 2.2 pounds. I have some health challenges. I wear out really easy, so I do small amounts daily. Gonna need a couple of drill bits. This is a brad point bit, and it is made for drilling holes in wood. Brad point bit makes it easier for you to drill into the PVC because it kind of grabs where it needs to go. So I think that is a great thing. Measuring apparatus, writing apparatus, probably going to want to have a utility knife of some sort, a small hammer, I made a video on that, it's on my other channel. Okay, I think that's it for tools. Gonna have to drill some holes, gonna have to cut some pipe. So now that we've gotten that, need to buy some tools out of the way, and these aren't terribly expensive, by the way. This is, the hacksaw is 12 bucks. The other thing that I found is 22 bucks. So not free, but not going to break the bank in most cases. This was a set. It came with the drill and it came with a driver. They both use the same battery. It was $100 brand new. But this is a lifetime tool. If you take care of it, you'll have it for years and years and years. And it's 12 volts, so it won't rip your arm off if you're trying to do stuff. But it does have enough power to use a hole saw in wood and in plastics. So I thought that it works well for me. Okay, let's go through some supplies. Okay, 5-gallon bucket. Darker is better. We're gonna have to wrap that with a plastic. I have some Panda plastic here. It's white on one side, black on the other. So it'll block the light, but it also blocks the heat. So it won't warm up if you just wrap it in black. The bucket will warm up and the water will get too warm, and then that causes other problems. So dark bucket, yes, you can paint it. That's a great alternative. So my other system that we just showed in the beginning, you can see that was in another big box retailers. Okay, this pipe right here is drainage pipe. You would find it Lowe's, Home Depot. It is not the thick wall stuff that you they call this, it's a foam core. So this is thin, and our pump that we're going to need fits inside it, and that's very important. You need your pump to be able to fit inside the pipe that you get. So you probably ought to have your pump when you go to the hardware store to pick up your pipe. You can buy this in shorter sections. They sell it in 2-footers, I believe, at your local big box store. That particular one came from Lowe's. Okay, we need a 10-foot length of 1.5-inch PVC, because we're going to have to cut a whole bunch of pieces for this system. We need 20 pieces 4 inches long. We need 2 pieces 1.5 inches long, and we need 1 piece 2 inches long. I'll have all of that linked, or not linked, but spelled out in the description what you need for supplies. 2 pieces 14 inches long, 1 piece 17 inches long. So you're pretty much going to use up a whole 10-foot section. Yes, you can buy it on Amazon, but it's amazingly more expensive. A 10-foot stick of 1.5-inch pipe costs less than $10 for me here in Connecticut in 2020. So, you know, if you buy the cutter first, even if you had to take this on a train or a subway or something, if you bought the cutter first and you cut it in half, then you've got 2 5-foot sections. That's not so bad. Or cut it all the way down if you were so inclined. So 10 feet, 1.5-inch drain pipe. You are going to need a pump. I will have the pump I used spec'd in the description. It is a plug-in-the-wall submersible pump. I'm in North America, so that's 110, 120, whatever. Optional, but we're going to use it in this as soon as the stones come in, is an air pump. This particular air pump has dual outlets, so I'm going to use this one pump for both buckets that I have. You need 21 of these. Actually, you can use less. My system is right at 6 feet tall, and it uses 21 of these. If you want it shorter, it's going to use less. This is the picture on the end of the box. This was Home Depot. The picture on the end of the Lowe's box pretty much looks the same. So it is a PVC Y, and that Y comes off at a 45-degree angle. 1.5 inch in all 3 directions on that. Okay, and now this next little piece might be mildly confusing. These are 90-degree elbows, 1.5 inches in both directions, and you need 2 of those. You need a T, and there's a couple of different kinds. This T costs like a quarter less, 25 cents less, and it is a T. This is called a sanitary T. It is designed to make water flow away. It's intended for low pressure applications. This is not the one we need. If you look, this outlet is offset to one side. We really need it to be centered. So this is not the one you want. This is the one you want. It won't, these two will not be side by side. Most likely, on any store that I've looked at, they're not side by side. Both of these are 1.5 inches, but you'll see this one, the out is, or what we're using as an out, is right there in the middle. And so it's equal on both sides. Okay. I don't know if I said 20 4-inch pieces of 1.5 PVC. So I believe that is everything. I'm going to move the camera just a little bit and we are going to go to town building this. This is a simple system. It only takes a few minutes. Oh, rocks or some other medium that you're going to put in your bucket. You are going to need a handful of zip ties. You need something in the area of 10 inches long, and I suggest white because it'll match. But it really doesn't matter what color, it's just holding stuff together. Piece of this pipe, this I found at Lowe's. I do have a link in the description. It is 1/2 inch irrigation line. Again, I'll have links to all of this stuff down in the bottom. I bought this little coupler, also at Lowe's. What this does is adapt that pump to this 1/2 inch line. Okay, so I'll show that again. I'll have a link for it. So that makes it so this fitting screws into that pump, and everything just goes together really, really nice. You are going to need some of this 1/4 inch line. This is a nice flexible rubber. And these fittings, those fittings, I got them out of this, the adjustable dripper. We're not going to use the adjustable dripper part, so that fitting looks just like that. So it's barbed on both ends. I'll have a link for it, if for nothing else, so that you can look at it and make sure you get the right thing when you go to the store. I bought the tool because the tool makes what you have to do with this stuff very easy. If you're not a person with super strong hands, you do have to punch some holes. This is it's worth the $3 or $4 that it costs. So it's the all-in-one tool, and there's two different ones. One's expensive, one's cheap. This is the cheap one. Okay, I don't think there's any more I forgot, and we're gonna start putting this thing together. All right, so let's get our bucket ready for being built upon. So the first thing we're gonna need, safety glasses. We're gonna get after some power tools. Okay. So, this is our drill. That's the 5/16 inch bit on both sides, right where the handle is. Need to drill 2 holes about a thumb's width apart, about a thumb down. So that on this bucket's going to end up right about here. And you see how that just grabs right a hold of that and makes quick work of it. We need to put those 2 holes on both sides. Right about there. Right about there. Okay? So, that's step 1. The next thing, we need to drill some holes in this short pieces of 2-inch pipe that we got. So if you're going to cut these, yourself, I would definitely drill these before I separated them from a longer piece. It's possible to do it after, but it's easier to do it before. We have our safety glasses on. Yeah, move that, move that. So I'm using this piece of 1.5 inches. And I'm just going to drill right through everything because this 1.5 inches is going to have to get, or can get, a couple of holes punched in it anyway. So about 1/4 inch from the top. You're going to want to just go straight in, otherwise it's going to do that. Okay, all the way through. And then just a little bit over from that, maybe 2 drill bits. 2 drill bits worth. We're going to add another hole. Okay. So that now has 2 holes in it. That has a couple of holes in it. There's the other one of those. There's the other one of those. Okay, and then you have a third of these longer pipes. You had 2 14s and a 17. So now they all have holes in the bottom. Bring our bucket back in on the scene here. We'll bring that in. So 2 holes there, 2 holes there. Zip tie in one side, out the other side, out the other hole, and zip it. Okay, so there we go. You can't have this headpiece on the inside because then this pipe, which has to go in it, won't fit. It's already a snug fit with just the zip tie in there, but that'll be just fine. So in the hole, and we've got the short part pointing up. Right back out the other side. Okay. Those do support a little bit of weight, but not a lot. You'll see that. So, the bucket, as far as drilling holes, is done. And this piece of 4-inch pipe that we talked about, we need to perforate. We just need to drill a whole bunch of holes in it. Pattern, if you want to make them in a pattern, is fine. Put that, we cut that about the height of the bucket, this 14 inches-ish. And we need to have holes up to about yay. This is not a scientific put holes in it. Okay, now that's very religious, very, very holy. So you're going to want to watch wipe off any burrs that are on there. So the pump is going to get housed in this pipe, so we kind of just have to keep it open. That is just going to get set in there. That's it. So now we are up to some of the funner parts. Let's put the manifold together on the top. Remember, we want this style Y, not that style Y. So that can go over there. 2 90s and the 2 1.5 pieces. We have 2 that should be 1.5 and another one that's 2. This is soon, but not yet. Okay, gonna push that in there, that in there, that in there. Okay, we are gonna set all of that together. My small hammer. We're going to set all of that together, kind of push it as tight as we can. So that's it. I do not glue these. You can glue these if you want, but I screwed the last one only because I cut the pieces for the inside too short. So I got it right this time, 1.5 long. This is nice and snug. It's not going to fall apart. So I'm not going to worry about screwing it together. So this is the back side of your fitting. Decide which side's the back. This side's dirtier. This should be the back. We need to drill 3 holes. Those 3 holes are what's going to feed water down these tubes. 5/16 drill bit still. And up above this collar, you see it's got a little step. We need to be above that. Let me make a dot. We need to be above that. So something like that. Pretty much on the center line. And then just something in the near vicinity on that center one. And then we're going to drill those 3 holes. Okay, you might be wondering, why are we drilling 1/4 inch hole or 5/16 holes when I said we were going to use 1/4 inch line? 1/4 inch is the inside. The outside fits snugly into there, which is exactly what we want. We want those to spray against the far face of this, and they don't pull out very easy. Well, that's exactly what we want. So that is the upper manifold. That is done. We can set that aside. Now we need to build the towers. We will change that a little bit. Okay, these pipes, we drilled a couple of holes in each one. Holes need to go down. So we are working from the ground up. This is the ground. This is up. Oh. You know what? Let's add this while we're here. The T, this one, goes in the middle. Just put it in there, leave it in there. And we're going to get back to it. So when we cut this, 2 of them are the same length and 1 is longer. So the 2 that are the same length get built exactly the same. Holes at the bottom, 1.5 inch Y. You're going to want to tap that together vaguely securely. You don't have to use a giant wood mallet. A nice rubber mallet, same thing. Even a carpenter's hammer, you're not going to be driving these things home. So a Y, a 4 inch, a Y, a 4 inch. There needs to be 7 7 of these Ys per tube. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These Ys, I think I paid $1.68, $1.74. And this is not a super expensive system. Yes, you have to buy tools. Another thing you're going to want to think about is put the label on the back. You can buy PVC cleaner and that'll come off, but be one more thing you have to buy. So, and we want all of these to be pointed in the same direction. So, you got it lying like this, we want all of these to be pointed up. It's easy to do if you lay it on its side, because then everything is where it goes. Put the black to the back. Laying those flat. Label to the back. Okay, we have 7. The last thing we need to put on the 2 outside ones is one more 4-inch piece. Okay, so I'm just going to build the other one that is identical to this one. Alright, those two should be identical. We have the taller one, and we're going to need 7 of these. Alright. So, if we line up the bottom of these 2 pipes down here, you'll see that they're offset. And that offset, no, you won't see, because you can't. So if you look at the pipes from the side, I have the bottoms are all lined up in a straight line. And these are the 2 first ones that we built, and see this 3rd one comes out about halfway between here and here. That way they're offset. This is going to be the center, and these 2 will be the outside. So let's just keep on trucking with that. These are Charlotte pipe, made in USA. This one, the one with the taller center pole, does not get the extra piece up here. That's the part that we did there. Okay, so I am going to turn us around a little bit here so that you can see what's going on. Alright, hopefully you can see what we're doing here, but we're pretty well towards the end. So, we are going to take our 2 outside tubes, the ones with the shorter bottom poles and the 4-inch piece at the top. We're going to stick them down into those holes, or into those pipes. It's going to be handy if you have somebody around to help you hold all this up. Because right then when you think you need 3 hands, you're going to need 1 more. So these right now I have pointed pretty much directly at you. We need to turn them out a little bit. We need to take our third pipe. This does not go into that 4-inch pipe. It goes right in front of that 4-inch pipe. The 4-inch pipe is the back. I'm going to move the camera a little bit because you can't see what I'm doing. Alright, so we've got our 3 pipes in. The center one is not supported by anything. It's just kind of free floating. So we're going to put one outside pipe on, the other outside pipe on, the other outside pipe on. Take your hammer. Halfway this way. Okay. Vaguely secure now. Pipe come to the back. So if you're on a level surface, that should kind of hold itself up now. I am not on one of those surfaces, so I am not hold itself up. But persuaded. Okay. So that is that.
Oh, before we go, we talked the other day while we were out in the greenhouse that we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. So we came up with an idea. We would like your suggestions, but how do we pick somebody from the suggestions? Well, we're a homeschooling family. So here's our address, Mefford Endeavors, LLC, P.O. Box 3, Morris, Connecticut, 06763. We want a postcard from you. We have a map. Oh, I don't know where I did with the map. We have a United States map, and we want to see where all our viewers are. And when we get to 10,000 subscribers, we're going to pick some lucky winners. We make our own clothespins here that are absolutely phenomenal. We make our own harvest baskets, which are the best on the market. You'll agree when you finally have one. We have the dehydrated garlic. We make maple syrup. We have all these products that we want to give away to some lucky winners, but we're going to make you send us a postcard because we want to do geography too. We like to incorporate education in everything we do. So take down our address, send us a postcard. We're really excited to hear from you, and let's get to 10,000 subscribers. What?
Repeat the address.
Oh, repeat the address? You got it. Mefford Endeavors, LLC, P.O. Box 3, that's the number 3, Morris, Connecticut, 06763.